In this video, we will learn about saturated and unsaturated carbon compounds. In the previous video, we have already seen about saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. Now let's try to draw the structures. We have already seen methane, which has the formula CH4. We also drew the electron dot structure for it. So now let's draw the structure of ethane. So the formula is given and it is C2H6. So let us follow a few guidelines. So let's see what we need to do. First, link the carbons together. So first of all, look at the formula. It is C2H6. So there are two carbons. So 2 here represents the number of carbons present. So there are two carbons. So first, link the carbons together. So whatever the formula is, just link the number of carbons together. Next. And now use hydrogens to satisfy the valency. Now C, single bond C. But according to tetravalency of carbon, it should have 1, 2, 3. This carbon should have 3 more. This carbon should have 1, 2, 3. 3 more to satisfy its valency. So just add up hydrogens. This is how the structure looks. So C, single bond C, now you have 6 hydrogens. So you have to satisfy the valency of carbon as well. So this carbon will have hydrogen, 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 all single bonds. The same with this carbon, hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. So now count the number of atoms that are present. You have 2 carbons and 6 hydrogens. So it is 2 carbons and 6 hydrogens. The formula is done and it is satisfied. So this is how you need to draw the structures. Now let us look at another example. Let's draw propane in the same way. So the formula is already given. It is C3H8. So now we have 3 carbons. Again, let's go and follow step 1. Bring all the carbons together. So now they said there are 3 carbons. So we brought 3 carbons together. So step 2, we need to satisfy the valency with hydrogens. So this is the structure. So every carbon will have, this carbon will have 3 to satisfy its valency. This carbon also will have 3 to satisfy its valency. But this carbon will just have 2 because it is already bonded by 2 carbons on either sides. So this carbon will have H, 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 all single bonded. This carbon will also have H, 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 all single bonded, but the single middle carbon will have just 2 hydrogens because it is already bonded by other 2 carbons on both the sides. So all the valency of all the carbons is satisfied. Now let's count the number of atoms. So 1, 2, 3, 3 carbons and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hydrogens. So the formula is satisfied, 3 carbons and 8 hydrogens. So this is how you draw propane. Now let's move on. All the single bonds are saturated. So here we can see in this compound, all are single bonds. You can't see a single double bond. Every line here is single. So we call such structure as saturated. We already discussed it earlier. So therefore, they are not very active. So saturated compounds which have single bonds are not so active compounds. Now let's draw a structure called ethene which has formula C2H4. Oh my god, this looks a little different. Let's try it out. So first, again step 1, you need to bring all the carbons together. So we brought the carbons together, which is C, single bond C. That is 2 carbons. Now we will have to satisfy the hydrogens. So the hydrogens are 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 each for each carbon. But now we find that each carbon has just 3. So 1 more can be attached to satisfy the valency. So what shall we do? Just add a bond here which will make it a double bond because you can't add hydrogens because the formula is just C2H4. So you just added up all the hydrogens. There are no more hydrogens left to satisfy. So the only thing that you can do is to add another bond in between the carbons. That is a double bond. So this is how you draw the structure of ethene, that is C2H4. Now let's look at another example. Let's draw ethine, which has the formula C2H2. Oh my god, this compound looks even more tricky. But let's try it out. Again, step 1, bring the carbons together. We have 2 carbons, so we brought the 2 carbons together attached with a single bond. Now, the next step is to add the hydrogens. Yes, now we added hydrogens, so there are just 2 hydrogens. So let us give one to this carbon and one to this carbon attached by single bond. Now, what shall we do? We don't have any hydrogens left. So the only thing we can do to satisfy the valency is to add 2 more bonds between these 2 carbons, which makes it a triple bond. So this is how we draw the formula of ethine. Compounds with double and triple bonds are unsaturated, as we already know, and they are more reactive than saturated compounds. So in the previous slide, we discussed that saturated compounds are less reactive, but these unsaturated compounds, which have double and single bonds, are more reactive when compared to that of saturated compounds. Thank you.